I'm done. I am done apologizing. I am done being persecuted for my strength. You people should be thanking Christ that I am who and what I am because you need me. You need me to save you. You do. You're not the real heroes. I'm the real hero.
After a fitful night of sleep, Butcher wakes up and has a video call with Ryan. And although he is still filled with grief over Becca's death, he tries to support the boy as best he can. Meanwhile, Hughie and Starlight, who are now in a public relationship, share an intimate mourning. While reviewing a file on Red River, they learn that it is a group home where Victoria Newman was raised and is suspiciously owned by a subsidiary of Vought. At Vought Tower, Homelander is in a surprisingly jolly mood, since it is his birthday. However, when he goes to visit Stormfront, she refuses to acknowledge him at all. Later, as everyone prepares for a celebratory live television performance, Homelander continues to torment Starlight by poking fun at Supersonic and changing her scripted lines. When Starlight stands up for herself, she receives some surprising support from Stan Edgar, who reminds Homelander of his waning popularity. At the same time, Butcher visits MM and asks him to help with the investigation into Soldier Boy. This is a particularly sensitive topic for MM, as Soldier Boy killed his grandfather decades ago, kickstarting his hatred for Supes. Refusing to abandon his daughter in favor of revenge, he declines Butcher's offer, but passes on some intel as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Frenchie and Kimiko take a trip to the Vaughtland theme park to track down Soldier Boy's ex-lover and payback teammate, the Crimson Countess. There, she toils away as a musical act, performing a show about Soldier Boy's life and career. According to Vought's propaganda, Soldier Boy became a hardened war hero after a childhood of poverty, but he tragically died while preventing a nuclear meltdown. After the show, they confront the Crimson Countess backstage, but she flees, causing some collateral damage on the way out. Back at Vought Tower, A-Train meets with Ashley and proposes a rebranding campaign that will explore his African roots. However, his plan is met with a severe lack of enthusiasm, as his intent seems more exploitative than authentic. Hungry for more information, Hughie travels to Red River and learns that it is essentially an orphanage for unwanted children with superpowers. After sneakily stealing some data from their computer system, he discovers that Victoria was indeed raised there, but she went by her birth name, Nadia. In addition to finding evidence confirming her superpowers, Hughie also learns that she was informally adopted by the current CEO of Vought, Stan Edgar. Continuing his investigation into Payback, Butcher visits a gun show in search of Soldier Boy's old sidekick, Gunpowder. Unfortunately, when he tries to blackmail Gunpowder for information, he refuses to talk. Afterward, in the parking garage, Gunpowder tries to kill Butcher, but he manages to escape with just a few flesh wounds. Back in New York City, Homelander tries to rescue a troubled girl from a rooftop for some publicity on his birthday. However, when the news breaks that Stormfront has died, his attitude turns sour. Confiding in the girl, Homelander explains that he doesn't have a real birthday, as he was created in a lab and raised without parents. Grief-stricken and growing more unhinged by the moment, he forces the girl to jump off the roof, coldly watching as she plummets to the ground. When Hughie returns to work at the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs, Victoria grows suspicious and begins to ask questions. But Starlight shows up to save his skin. Outside, he tells Starlight about Victoria's history at Red River, leaving him feeling gullible and betrayed. Elsewhere, MM drops off his daughter at Monique's house. During a private conversation, he admits that he's been feeling mentally unwell since Butcher mentioned Soldier Boy, and he is struggling to keep things together. Surprisingly, Monique encourages him to rejoin Butcher's team and get his revenge once and for all. Later that night, Butcher calls Hughie to apologize for their previous argument. However, Hughie admits that Butcher was right the entire time and tells him about Victoria's true identity. Reinvigorated, Butcher goes to confront Gunpowder again, and he is greeted with several bullets to the chest. Luckily, the shots prove ineffective, as Butcher took some V24 in preparation. After a quick beatdown, Gunpowder admits that Soldier Boy was never killed in a nuclear catastrophe, but he went missing during a mission to Nicaragua in 1984. Adding another layer of mystery, he also claims that they were working with the CIA, and that Grace Mallory was their handler. Although Gunpowder lies beaten and bloody, Butcher doles out the finishing blow and kills him with a super-powered laser blast. During Homelander's birthday television special, A-Train debuts his new unapproved suit, much to Ashley's frustration. When Starlight announces her new non-profit organization, she is interrupted by a heckler who jokes about Stormfront's death, throwing Homelander into a rage. Lashing out at the live studio audience with a vulgar speech, he scolds the public at large and demands that they respect his godlike power. As Stan Edgar and the rest of the Vought management watch his ego-driven tirade, Homelander makes it blatantly clear that he is reaching his breaking point.